Law of correspondence. Long before the emergence of the new physics, many spiritually minded and artistic people understood the unity and wholeness of the universe. William Blake wrote, "To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wildflower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour." The term metaphysics, or the larger context of physics, symbolizes the truth of the law of correspondence. The principles are laws of physics that explain the physical world, energy, light, vibration, and motion, have their corresponding principles in the etheric world or universe. The deep meaning of the law of correspondence is difficult for us to comprehend because our science and our world have been based on identifying the parts of systems or phenomena rather than looking at the whole and seeing interconnections and relationships. Only recently have we realized the need to reverse our basic paradigms and view of metaphysics. Willis Harman discusses the old mechanistic view of the universe as M1 physics, which is based on the belief that matter gives rise to mind. This view assumes that the basic material of the universe is matter and energy. Our consciousness emerges from matter such as the brain, and whatever we know must fit with our perceptions of the physical world. Later, we move to an M2 view of the world based on the dualism articulated in Descartes' separation of science to deal with the physical world, leaving the church to deal with the mind-spirit view of the world. This view assumes that two types of energies make up the universe, matter energy and mind-spirit. Within recent times, we have moved to M3 metaphysics, which reverses the original premise and says that mind gives rise to matter, since the basic energy of the universe is consciousness. First and foremost is universal consciousness, which also is called the golden liquid light, the God force, or the basic oneness of the universe. The second consciousness to be considered is the degree to which individuals can move to the mainstream of the universal consciousness. Each individual is unique with his or her own human beingness or essence. The essence of the individual determines his or her consciousness, and consciousness is the basis for the human mind. When we expand our minds, we acquire a higher spiritual consciousness. As we grow spiritually, we become one with the God force. This view of the world is supported further by our understanding that the world is holographic. A hologram is a photographic image that projects a three-dimensional image, which shows various views and images depending on the perspective. Contained in each small part of the whole is the whole itself. A holographic view of the world changes many of our views of reality. Some of these views, which also explain the law of correspondence, have been identified. Consciousness is the basic reality. Each of us has unique characteristics which constitute the basis of our essence. Our consciousness is expressed through our intentions of our values. We develop perceptions of the world around us, which is our way of imposing an order of regularity on this world. We tend to perceive the world in ways which are consistent with our expectations, beliefs, and past experiences. Thus, we create our own experiences. Everything is connected to everything else. Nothing in the universe exists separately or in isolation. Everything we do, say, or believe affects everything else immediately. When we behave in a positive, nurturing way, it has an effect not only on the environment around us, but also on the many complex planes of the universe, as discussed previously in the chapter on the law of divine oneness. Each piece contains the whole. Every cell within us contains intelligence and the whole pattern of our essence. We are beings with interacting systems which make up our wholeness. Similarly, we are part of others and of the world around us. There is a basic wisdom and knowledge within the universe which is beyond our physical reality. While there are many other implications of the holographic universe, each of them impresses upon us the degree to which we create our reality, and therefore must act responsibly. As more people gain this expanded consciousness and begin to live acknowledging responsibility for themselves and others, Earth moves closer to the fifth dimension. All this documents that our views and perceptions of the world are indeed changing. No longer can we see ourselves as separate, disconnected entities. Instead, we are maturing into a species that must understand that we are a part of a whole, finely tuned ecosystem, each part connected to and affecting the other parts. The law of correspondence is the key for understanding this connection. So let us read what El Morya has to say about this important principle. It is with great pleasure that I begin to explain the law of correspondence, the law that eludes many initiates interested in the path of oneness. This law, often referred to as the principle of as above, so below, so above, is the basis for understanding the interdimensional operations of the universe. The aspirant who strives to increase his or her understanding of the universal laws must integrate the knowledge that all planes of existence exist simultaneously, and that in this synchronicity all is motion. In examining the law of correspondence, it is important to understand three planes of existence. They are the physical, mental, and spiritual planes. These three planes comprise the basis for operations and govern the harmony and energy convergence of the soul wishing to bring heaven on earth. While there are many interdimensional levels existing within these three planes, all vibrating at different rates, for the purpose of this lesson, it is important to focus only on the three major divisions just described. The term correspondence, corresponding, implies that all things existing within these planes of existence, whether seen or unseen, exist in harmony or agreement with the all. There is only oneness, and this ideal is critical to absorb. Just as individuals cannot step out of this oneness, neither can any of the other elements found on these planes. Significant to this understanding is that all are truly in harmony one to another. Even though human beings perceive themselves to be limited to what they see and experience, this does not mean that they are separated from the larger picture or the macrocosm. Key to understanding the law of correspondence is to know that agreements have been made in universal mind, that all are in harmony with divine law. The universal mind is the force field or golden liquid light, called the God force. Humans have been created and placed on earth to learn this and to become co-creators with this force field, which is the basis for creation. If humans remain separate, never seeing this connection, they will pass out of embodiment in a separated state of existence. If they open their minds to this knowledge and see the universe in a different light, by understanding that each individual is a part of this wondrous force field, then they are destined to move forward in time and become demigods. We smile at the term gods in exile, for it depicts the situation and frustration that we perceive humanity to be in today. The physical, manifest world around is so strong that it keeps many in a state of unconsciousness. This state of mind is likened to that of the sleeping giant, who, when cloaked in the sleep state, is quiet and subdued. Awakened, the giant's potential can come forth to achieve great things. Magnificent deeds are destined to come forth from these sleeping giants in the seventh golden age. Those who awaken will usher in the new millennium for the children of the golden dawn.